Hey, all you metal mixers. It's your old pal Gen X and
Dark J.
how you guys doing on this Monday? Did you guys have a happy Easter? We sure did.
Yeah,
Like I said, we threw down some food.
we did.
It was really good, wasn't it?
It was.
Like we mentioned. And he got to celebrate his birthday yesterday, and he turned the big, wow, 5-1.
5-1, yeah.
Yeah, hey.
Woo!
So, without further ado, we're going to talk about something that is one of our favorite bands.
Yes.
And that band is,
Badlands.
yes, Badlands with Jakey Lee, Ray
Ray
Gillian,
Gillen.
Eric Singer, and
Greg Chassian.
now on Voodoo Highway, it was a little bit of a different lineup because we had Jeff Martin
On drums.
on drums. Right. So we're going to cover our favorite songs as well as least favorites off of all three releases. The self-titled that came out in 1989, Voodoo Highway that came out in 91,
91.
and Dusk, which the timeline of Dusk is about 93, 94.
When it was originally recorded.
Right.
Yes.
And we'll get into that one a little bit later because that has an interesting history to it.
It
So,
does, yes.
without further ado, we'll get into it. So, Badlands self-titled came out May 11th, 1989.
Yes.
Absolutely love that band. They came out when Blue Murder did their, actually they're self-titled as well. And the interesting thing about Blue Murder is Ray was the original singer of Blue Murder.
Yes, he was.
He was a four-piece at one time, and John Sykes decided to take over on vocals, which John Sykes' vocals are way better than David Coverdale's any day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
I will always say that. God rest John Sykes' soul.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing, too, prior to Blue Murder and prior to Badlands is that he was on some demos for Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath, yep.
Yeah, those are on YouTube. I used to have the CD of it. It had Ray's demos as well as Tony Martin's, which they went with Tony Martin for that particular record, and I forgot which one it was. It wasn't one of their better ones, but if Ray would have been on that, God only knows what it would have been like. But from what I heard, it was an excellent, excellent CD.
Awesome.
So let's get into the Badlands self-titled. I'll go with you first. What was your favorite and what was your least favorite on that one? Of the track listing.
The self-titled Badlands is awesome.
I agree.
I remember buying that cassette tape back in '89 when it was first released.
Right.
And what influenced me to buy it was Jakey Lee.
Right.
Because of what he did with Ozzy. And everyone knows which Ozzy album is my favorite, The Ultimate Sin. And I just, I love Bark at the Moon as well. But not to be off topic about Ozzy, but, Jakey Lee's a phenomenal guitar player. I love his style. His bluesy, jazzy incorporation into, the hard rock metal scene. It blew my mind. I loved his guitar playing. I still do to this day.
Right.
But going back to the self-titled Badlands, I had the cassette, and then I later on bought the CD. Which interesting about that CD.
I was just going to bring that up.
Yes.
That is interesting to know.
So the one that Jenny had, or has, or still have.
I still have.
Yes.
And it was a Japanese import.
Yes.
Mine was a Japanese import, but a different record label put it out. In the Japanese import of the Badlands self-titled, Ball and Chain was included as an extra track. However, when I first bought the self-titled when it came out on cassette, the end track was Seasons. Ball and Chain was not included on that release. However, your release had Ball and Chain as the 11th track.
Correct.
And we had to verify that, and that's true.
Yeah.
Certain record, I don't know if it was by region or if it was just some oddity that Ball and Chain was the 11th track on that self-titled.
Yes.
Because for years, Seasons closed out that record.
Which is weird because I never knew that because the tape that I had, I don't know, but no, I don't still have it. And the CD that I still do have from '89 has Ball and Chain as the last track, even though it says bonus track. or contains bonus track.
Yeah, you got a really, that might be something rare.
I mean, it was still released on Atlantic, but I think it was sub-sister released.
Or subsidiary
of Titanium Records.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, and I don't know if yours was with Titanium / Atlantic.
The story that I got on the Badlands CD, the self-titled, is the record company has held on to the masters for years. Jake has, I've heard stories if he's attempted to buy them. I don't know the whole deal about it, but the bottom line is when that becomes available, like say another record label buys it, a smaller one, they get the opportunity to take that and distribute it. Mm-hmm. It's only available for a month or two because even the one that I bought was on a different record label that had the rights for a very short time. Atlantic finds out about it and they shoot that down really quick. And it happens a lot. Now, I haven't seen it for sale in a very long time. I bought my copy over 10 years ago, and I spent like $20. I've seen that self-titled go for way more money.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and to get it as a Japanese import with the, I can't think of what those... the obi strips in it.
Yeah.
Those are hard to get.
They are.
Especially when it's that old and it's that rare. I would say that self-titled has to be probably worth triple, if not quadruple that amount. Now, I'm not sure, I haven't checked the prices of that, but it's very hard to find that self-titled. So if you do, get a chance to pick that up. And I'm always on the hunt for the self-titled. Yeah. Especially on CD. It's very hard to find.
And if you try to find like... the first production or the first pressing, the original pressing, search on discogs.com, search on eBay, whatever platform that you buy music from,
Right.
Absolutely. Check it out.
Yeah.
Getting back on point.
Yeah, we get off point a lot, but that's okay. That's okay because you want to know this stuff.
We'll give you some history and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
What was your favorite?
So my favorite, Seasons.
The closer, the original closer. Right.
Yes.
I agree. I agree.
I love the whole album. The whole album is excellent. Dreams in the Dark, Winter's Call, Jade Song. Even though that's a little instrumental intro to Winter's Call, I love it. It's a beautiful written.
It works well together as one song. The intro goes into the Winter's Call very well. It works well together.
And then you got Devil Stomp, and then you got Rumbling Train. They're all great songs. And I love the bluesiness. Is that even a word?
Yeah, bluesiness. Yeah.
Of Jake's guitar playing. It's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But yeah, Seasons is definitely my top-notch favorite. My least favorite that I would consider a skip it track because it's just not really fitting for me for that album. Streets Cry Freedom. I couldn't get into that one.
Yeah. That was their political song, and a lot of bands have done that. Winger did that on Pull. They had a political song. I just think that was for the times. That was like Winds of Change by the Scorps.
Oh, okay.
They did stuff like that during that time. That was the big thing. You don't see it as much anymore, but that was the point.
Right.
I would have to say on that was a very hard call for me on that record because I really do like a lot of them. A lot of them have been overplayed. I love my honorable mention would have to be High Wire, the opener.
The opening track, yep.
Excellent song, and that was a good choice. I wish they would have done a video for that. If I had to choose between High Wire and Dreams in the Dark, I would have chose High Wire. I think High Wire is a better song than Dreams in the Dark, by far.
Yeah.
I just think that Dreams in the Dark was a little bit too commercial for me. I got tired of it really fast. Now, Winter's Call, on the other hand, I didn't. But my favorite on that album would have to be Seasons. I would have to agree on that, Seasons. But the honorable mention is High Wire. Now, my least favorite song on that record, Hard Driver. It sounds like High Wire, but, Hard Driver, it's one of those filler songs. And that's really hard to say as a Jakey Lee fan myself. I just don't think it was a great song per se. It's one of those forgettable songs that, again, the record label just goes ahead and puts in.
Yeah.
You know, you have your 10 tracks, there you go, and then you're done.
Right.
But I don't think that was the best song on the record.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
Anyways.
Yeah.
The second title, or the second release, was Voodoo Highway. That came out in 91.
Yes.
That's with Jeff Martin from Racer X and Surgical Steel.
Surgical Steel, yep.
Yeah, from Arizona.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, there was some history with that. Now, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, what was your favorite off of Voodoo Highway?
Voodoo Highway. Another tough one. This album was hit or miss for me. It is good, but I mean, it's not as good as the first debut, self-titled
album. I agree.
The self-titled just hit way harder.
Yeah.
But Voodoo Highway was decent. I would have to say my favorite out of all the tracks, there was quite a bit on this one. 13 tracks or something?
Yeah, there was there was a little bit more on this album than there was the last album. And I know that there was a problem before we get into our least and favorites. There was and I was reading about this, is that the interesting thing was Jake was getting pressured from the record label because they wanted to bring in Desmond Child to write the songs. Right. And Jake had no part of it. Jake was producing this record. He wanted it to sound a certain way, and I totally get it. Because when Desmond Child comes in, and you see it with Aerosmith, and you see it with a lot of Kiss songs, a lot of it gets that polished sound. And Paul O'Neill was looking for that. He also managed and produced a lot of Sabotage records. They both had the same manager, and Paul O'Neill was that.
Right.
And there was a lot of stuff that was brought about, and I know Greg mentioned it a few years back on one of the podcasts on YouTube, that stated they actually brought in another bass player and another drummer. And this is facts, and it is on there, that they brought in another bass player and another drummer to see how they would work with Ray and Jake.
Right, yeah. And
the funny thing is, and I always thought this going forward, and I don't know if this is true, my guess would be, and I know one other that knows this, or might know this, I really think they were trying to bring in Doc Killdrums from Sabotage and Johnny Lee Miller from Sabotage. That's always been my gut feeling, that how they were wanting to go, because Paul O'Neill was really big into Ray. He actually wanted to break Ray away from Badlands and say, screw the other three guys. That was what Greg has always said. They never knew who those two were going to be, but they were left out in the dark, him and Eric. And that's when Eric went to Kiss.
Kiss, yep.
Right. He had the opportunity, and, then they brought in Jeff Martin. So that's what I'm trying to say. There's always a seedy side of the business. And I don't know if you all knew that, but that is definitely something that came from the horse's mouth from Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
So what is your favorites on that one?
And thanks for that little
it's absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, favorite song, Voodoo Highway. 3-Day Funk.
Is that your favorite, or is that your...
That is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
3-Day Funk, huh?
There's just something about that. It's very bluesy, and I really got into it. I remember listening to it back in 91. Okay. And that was another one I picked up on cassette back in the day. It was my first buy, was cassette, and I later got it on CD. But I think that was the first track on side 2. Was 3-Day Funk.
3-Day Funk was it
I believe it was. Yeah.
It was.
And I remember when I hit play on the tape deck, and I was like, yeah. I don't want to get copyright infringement or whatever. Copyright strike. But,
right.
Yeah, because I can't hum it,
Right.
But I don't know, just the way it starts out, and then it gets in and it kind of grooves. But the chorus is what really caught me. I just love the way the chorus flows. But yeah, great song. That's my favorite. My least favorite, I'm not one for acapellas.
Okay.
So I would have to go In a Dream.
The very last track.
Yes, the very last track.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't get into it. But I mean, don't
Okay.
get me wrong. Ray's a great vocalist. I'm more into the, I don't know. I just don't do acapella. So.
Well, for me, I mean, I really liked. I would have to say on that one, on that note, I have an honorable mention, and it is In the Dream. But there's a different reason, because back in 2005, I was watching, and I never watched these programs, American Idol. Well, Bo Bice was actually one of the finalists, and I was reading up on this. He actually sang, and this is true. He did sing In a Dream a cappella, but instead of singing it as his final performance, he sang it second to last. And that's what Simon Cowell said, that if he would have sang that very last part, or towards the end, he would have won that competition over Carrie Underwood. And I totally believe that. Yeah. That was an interesting bit, because I remember watching that, and I'm like, that song sounded familiar. And time goes on. It's been, 21 years. And then after reading that, I was like, wow. That would have been an interesting thing to see Badlands in the spotlight again, getting the recognition that they deserve by somebody that was on one of those competitions. Yeah. And that was one of the better seasons. And like I said, I normally don't watch that kind of shit. Right. Because it's not true to form and everything. That's just all record company bullshit. But what I'm trying to say is that song is an honorable mention. But if I had a favorite on that song, would be Silver Horses. Yeah, that's a good track. I really like Silver Horses. Yeah. Just from start to finish, that whole song is bluesy as hell. Yeah. And it's got great lyrics and everything. It's well written. Mm-hmm. But my least favorite is the title track, is Voodoo Highway. It just was kind of Yeah. Like one of those songs, again, it was another filler one. Right. I just think that maybe they could have named the album something different. Because when you have a record that is called Voodoo Highway, you want it to be something memorable. You don't want it to be something mediocre. So that whole album has got hit and misses left and right. Absolutely. And even when I worked at Recordland back in 91, when that CD debuted, we would play it, but we always had to turn down when Ray would say, fuck it. On one of the songs, and I can't think of which one it is. I always thought it was the first one, but it's not. Right. It's later on in the CD. We always had to turn it down because we didn't want to get in trouble by the FCC. Right. Or little ears could hear that. Yeah. All that bullshit aside. And I'm cussing a lot more, but it's more later in the video. But I think that Voodoo Highway is probably my least favorite on that record.
I can agree with you on that. Yep. Yeah.
So the next one is the last one.
Yeah. Dusk.
Dusk came out Dusk was like 93, 94, wasn't it?
Yeah, it came out, it was recorded early. Right. In the early 90s.
I don't think it came out until much later, like 98. Yeah. And it was after Ray passed. Ray passed in December 1st, 93. 93. He died of HIV. But the interesting thing about that band is they were called Sun Red Sun. Mm-hmm. And the original bass player from Alice in Chains, Mike Starr, was in that group as well. And he died of a heroin overdose. Yeah. He's been gone for, I would have to say, a number of years now. Yeah. I've lost track. But he was one of my favorite bass players for Alice in Chains. Oh, yeah. I got into Alice in Chains much later on. But right on. Yeah. Dusk, what was your favorite songs? They were kind of few and far between, but... Yeah. Like, same as Voodoo Highway, hit or miss tracks. There was a couple more good ones that I liked on Dust rather than Voodoo. The album cover, I think there was two album covers. Right. But they were just a plain color. Like was it the blue one that you're talking about? Yes, the one that I have, like the Badlands logo looks like it was frosted over with ice. That's the one I had. And it looks like a pair of blue jeans or something with that material. I think I have that Dusk one. On the bottom corner. Yeah, I have that one. And then there's another one that's just a blue cover. It's blue or dark purple. I
can't
That's
remember.
like a really violet looking.
But I remember the Badlands logo was like really big.
Yeah,
on top.
that's probably a later issue.
Either that or it's the European version.
Yeah, it could be either one. I'm not too sure on that timeline with that one. But it sounds like Sun Red Sun, the band, and you could tell that they were trying to go in a little bit of a different direction, more like that Seattle sound, because you had Mike Starr in that band,
right,
from Alice in Chains. So they kind of had that Seattle sound to it a little bit.
Definitely,
it'd have to be the least out of the 3 albums. I think Dusk is my least favorite, but there's still highlights on that record.
And that was also released by a different label as well.
Yeah, that was a different label. They were dropped after Voodoo Highway came out.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't think they toured the whole time for that record.
No.
That's what I remember them saying, that they didn't do a whole tour. Because mid-tour, I think they were dropped. Because Atlantic was dropping bands left and right.
Oh, yeah. Back in
oh,
the
my
90s,
God. I have a list that goes a mile long of how many bands got signed, and then somebody got fired in their upper echelons of the record label, and then that's when they just started shelving stuff or dropping them.
Right.
But what song did you like?
So my favorite off of Dusk, The Fire Lasts Forever.
That's a pretty good song, actually.
That's one of my favorites. I do have an honorable mention.
Okay.
Sun Red Sun.
Sun Red Sun is an excellent song.
Definitely.
Excellent song.
Yeah. My least favorite would have to be Fat Cat.
I don't know what the titles were, because that was kind of
It was
It wasn't a real good song at all.
No.
It didn't really showcase Jake's abilities or anything. It was just like one of those filler songs again.
Yeah.
That, this stuff I think was intentionally going to be released, but then it sat on the shelf, like I said.
Right.
And then they just went back and they just said, you know what, let's just release it. Because there were bootleg copies going all over with Sun Red Sun.
Yeah.
After Ray died. And it is just one of those things. My favorite, I don't have any honorable mentions, because after listening to it after all these years, I would have to say Sun Red Sun is my favorite.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's got that, still that Badlands quality.
Yeah.
But the least favorite is the one right after Fat Cat, and it's called Dog. It is a dog of a song.
Yeah.
That's all I could say about it, Jake. It's no, nothing personal. It's just not that good.
Yeah.
It's not that good. And really, to be honest with you, I think if Badlands would have continued, I think they were one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda bands.
Mm-hmm.
They were mismanaged a lot.
Yeah.
They didn't. I don't even know who they really went out with on tour. I just remember a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube, guys, that you could watch on the band. There's been people that have met Ray. Ray was always a really nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
All the stories that you hear about Ray were always good.
Yeah.
I never heard anything bad about Ray at all.
No.
He was a saint. He was an excellent singer. He was probably in my top, like I said, top 5.
And
Ray is definitely in there.
And he fit Badlands so well.
Absolutely fit him.
Him and Jake just clashed, with Jake's writing and Ray's vocals.
Ray sang like one of the angels, and I'll tell you what, he's still up there singing. And God rest his soul. I mean, he's been gone for it'll be 33 years in December. Yeah. He's been gone a lot longer than he lived. He was a very young man when he passed.
He was.
Yeah. Jake's done Red Dragon Cartel, but I don't. And I'm not knocking Jake for that band. They're just a different band. But a lot of the stuff that Red Dragon Cartel has covered, a lot of the material is kind of forgettable. Only because it's not... It doesn't have that specialness that these Badlands records had.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not taking, like I said, not taking away from Red Dragon, because I had the opportunity to see them back in like 2019.
Oh, really?
I actually had tickets, but some circumstance came up where I couldn't, and the tickets were like $15.
Oh, wow.
I've seen Jake
playing. Man.
So one of these days, Jake, we will meet, my friend.
Yes.
I know you're out in Vegas. I know good things about you. I hope you're doing well. And I know that Greg lives out in Arizona.
Yeah.
Eric is retired from KISS.
Right.
Geez, Jeff Martin is out there somewhere. I don't know where you are, Jeff. I'd like to talk to you sometime. I have a few things I'd like to talk to you about. Your time in Badlands, amongst others, in Surgical Steel and Eraser X.
Definitely.
Very interesting what Jeff has done, because Jeff sang as well.
Right.
He's a drummer singer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to pick their brains about Badlands. I just absolutely one of my favorite bands is Badlands.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys liked it. Here we go.
There we go.
Oh jeez. If you happen to like this video, what?
What?
You better say what you're gonna do.
Give it a thumbs up.
Right.
Subscribe, like.
And what? Push that notification.
Push that notification bell.
Right. We would like to thank all of our YouTube subscribers. We've been getting really good comments. We just got a comment from Mike, one of the original guitar players from Nuclear Assault.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike. We do appreciate that. It means a lot when fellow musicians like yourself reach out to us.
Yes.
We also got one from Chris from Majesty,
yes,
who was the original singer. Majesty was actually Dream Theater.
Yes.
That was about a couple weeks ago. I got that.
Right.
And I was like floored because I'm a big Dream Theater fan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Chris, if you're out there, dude, I covered you in one of my videos, but where I'm making an honorable mention. Love you, love your stuff, and I think we're going to do a repeat or a redo of that. We're going to listen to that at a later time.
Absolutely.
Or coming soon.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the comments. So we'd like to thank all of our loyal YouTube subscribers, Facebookers, our TikTokers, our Instagrammers, and our Threaders.
Absolutely.
So we'll end this video now, shall we? On a high note.
Yes. On a high note. Woo.
Oh yeah.
All right.
High note indeed.
Yes.
Always what? Look good. Always do good. Always do your best. Be your best. Whatever you do in life. Because what? We love you. That's right. Me and Dark J.
Yeah.
2. Smell good. Don't be a ranking, skanking.
Yes.
Ready to do it?
Haters to the back of the line.
Stand on your own twos.
Yes.
Save the drama for your mama. And stay out of people's fucking beeswax.
Beeswax, man.
I mean, really, for reals, man. It's just some of the shit that I've gone through today is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
From a business point of view.
Right.
I won't go into details, but anyways, people are unprofessional as fuck. And 3, chains hanging.
Chains hanging.
Till tomorrow's video, guys, we love you. All the best.
All the best.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.